einen Bereich betrachten, von dem manche von euch überhaupt keine Ahnung haben, aber Gott möchte, dass ihr darüber Bescheid wisst.
And I wish I had a blackboard, but I don't.
Und ich wünschte, ich hätte hier eine Tafel, wo ich drauf schreiben könnte, aber die habe ich nicht.
Because what we're going to look at right now is, does the Bible teach
Denn was wir jetzt betrachten ist,
that there was amalgamation
lehrt die Bibel, dass es Genmanipulation gab
between man and beast,
zwischen Tieren und Menschen,
between beast with beast,
zwischen Tieren und Tieren,
and then eventually crossing over with human DNA connected with animal DNA.
so dass es dann so weit ging, dass menschliche DNA mit tierischer DNA verbunden
Has
wurde.
such things taken place?
Gab es sowas schon mal?
And if they have, that means that we are ripe for destruction as a world.
Und wenn es das schon mal gab, dann bedeutet es, dass unsere Welt reif ist für die Vernichtung.
Email, go to that little button at the bottom where it says, where you can look up a word, type in amalgamation, and you will get, and when you get there, let me know, and hit amalgamation 4. What I want to look at for a moment, in Genesis chapter 7, verse 2,
Also 1. Mose Kapitel 7, Vers 2.
in Genesis chapter 7, verse 2,
1. Mose Kapitel 7, Vers 2.
the Bible says,
Da sagt die Bibel,
and every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens,
nimm von allem reinen Vieh je 7,
the male and his female,
je 7 und 7 mit dir, das Männchen und sein Weibchen.
and of beasts that are not clean by twos,
Von dem unreinen Vieh aber je ein Paar,
the male and his female.
das Männchen und sein Weibchen.
Now, let's go a little bit further down and look at Genesis 7:9.
Wir wollen jetzt Vers 9 betrachten.
In Genesis 7:9, let's go there. 7:8, 7:8, 7:8.
Vers 8.
Plus 8. All right? Of clean beasts, now listen again. Now, we're reading almost a similar line.
Und hier lesen wir beinahe das Gleiche.
Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth on the earth,
Von dem reinen Vieh und von dem Vieh, das nicht rein war, und von den Vögeln und von allem, was auf dem Erdboden kriecht.
Now, notice it says of what type of beast now?
Was für Tiere?
Clean beasts,
Reines Vieh
and of beasts that are what?
und Vieh, das
That are not clean,
nicht rein ist.
and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth.
Vögel und alles, was auf dem Erdboden kriecht.
There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, male and his female,
Es gingen Männchen und Weibchen paarweise zu Noah in die Arche,
as God had commanded Noah.
wie Gott es dem Noah geboten hatte.
Now, this is a story of Noah taking the animals into the ark.
Das ist die Geschichte von Noah, wie er die Tiere in die Arche gebracht hat.
Now, I have intelligent minds in this audience.
Und jetzt habe ich hier ganz intelligente Leutchen sitzen.
Solid and brilliant intellects.
Wirklich ganz brillante Gemüter.
Now, I need you to use your thinking caps.
Und ich möchte, dass ihr jetzt eure denkende Kappe hier benutzt.
Question.
Eine Frage.
Why
Warum
is God talking to Noah about clean beasts and beasts that are not clean to be put in the ark?
Warum spricht Gott hier zu Noah über reines und unreines Vieh, das in die Arche
Now,
gehen
this
soll?
is before Leviticus.
Denn das befindet sich vor dem 3. Buch Mose.
Why?
Warum?
Come on now. I want you to think.
Na los, kommt schon.
Huh?
Also ich habe vorher gedacht, dass es halt gerade darum ging, wegen den reinen und unreinen Tieren, die man essen darf und die man nicht essen darf.
He was thinking it was because you can eat the clean beast.
Because and that's the average one, because he can eat the clean beasts, and that would keep them alive in the ark.
Also das ist die allgemeine Auffassung, dass man die reinen Tiere essen kann und dass sie deswegen mehrere davon in die Arche genommen
But is
haben.
that the only reason?
Aber ist das der einzige Grund?
That's the major reason later.
Das ist später ein Hauptgrund.
Yes, sir.
Clean beasts were used for the sacrifices,
Clean beasts were used for sacrifices.
so the bloodline.
Okay, yes. That's a good answer
Die,
too.
die
Yes, correct.
reinen Tiere, die wurden für den Opferdienst benutzt.
But let's
Und das ist
examine
richtig.
something.
Aber wir wollen etwas untersuchen.
Go to Ellen White's writings now. Now, up until now,
Bis
the
jetzt,
Ellen White writing. The one, no, it's the one that says wealth. I mean, the one that dealt with amalgamation between man and beast. Amalgamation. You remember the square? The last. No. It was down here.
Emil,
Oh,
der
hier.
laatste, die PowerPoint over Amalgamation. Die
There you
was
go.
das, ja.
Thank you. Amalgamation between what?
Also Genmanipulation zwischen
Let's take a peek at this now.
Mensch und Tier. Wir wollen das
Because
jetzt
if
näher
Ellen
betrachten.
White is correct,
Denn wenn Ellen White recht hat,
that means the Bible has to have something about this.
dann bedeutet es, dass die Bibel etwas darüber zu sagen hat.
Now, this is what you call a hot potato.
Und
You know what a
das
hot potato
nennt
is?
man ein heißes Thema, eine heiße Kartoffel.
This is one that's hot in
Das
Adventism.
ist wirklich ganz heiß im Adventismus.
Most people don't like to touch this subject.
Und die meisten Menschen, die trauen sich nicht, dieses Thema zu
But
berühren.
if Ellen White is a true prophet of God,
Aber wenn Ellen White ein wahrer Prophet des Herrn
which
ist,
she is,
und das ist sie,
whatever she writes, it can be proven from Scripture.
was immer sie dann schreibt, kann auch aus der Schrift bewiesen werden.
Let's take a peek.
Und das wollen wir uns jetzt
Every
mal anschauen.
species of animal. Every what, everybody?
Jede Art von Tieren,
Every species of animal which God had created,
jede Art von Tieren, die Gott geschaffen hat,
which God had created,
die Gott geschaffen hat,
which God had created,
die Gott geschaffen hat,
were preserved in the ark.
wurden in der Arche erhalten.
Now I pause so you can think.
Also ich mache eine Pause, damit ihr Zeit zum Nachdenken
What type of
habt.
creature was preserved in the ark?
Was für eine Art Geschöpfe wurden in der Arche erhalten?
Every species
Jede,
of animal which God had created.
jede Tierart, die Gott geschaffen hat.
Indicating right off the bat, there had to be what?
Das bedeutet also was?
Some other species of animals
Dass es auch andere Tierarten geben
that were
musste,
alive on the earth
die auf der Erde lebten,
that God had not created.
die Gott nicht geschaffen hat.
Listen carefully.
Hört gut zu.
The confused species.
Die veränderten Arten,
Now, do you know what confused means?
wisst ihr, was dieses Wort verändert oder verwirrt bedeutet?
How were these species confused?
Wie wurden diese Tierarten denn verändert?
A confused species has to be a species that is genetically modified.
Eine veränderte Tierart muss eine Art sein, die genetisch verändert wurde, manipuliert wurde.
The confused species which God did not create,
Diese veränderten Arten, die Gott nicht geschaffen hat,
which God did not create.
die Gott nicht geschaffen hat,
The confused species which God did not create
diese veränderten Arten, die Gott nicht geschaffen hat,
were,
waren,
stop right there.
Moment,
There were some animals that God had not what?
es gab Tiere, die Gott
Created.
nicht geschaffen hat,
But nevertheless they existed.
und doch existierten sie.
Are you hearing me? Are you listening?
Hört ihr mich gut?
Are you listening?
Hört ihr mir zu?
They didn't come from other planets.
Kommen die von anderen Planeten?
There was no UFO,
Es gab kein UFO,
no ET,
kein
like that.
ET.
okay? But they were species that God did not create.
Aber es gab Tierarten, die Gott nicht geschaffen hat.
Listen carefully.
Hört gut zu.
Were destroyed by the flood.
Diese Tierarten wurden vernichtet bei der Flut.
Listen now.
Hört gut zu.
Since the flood,
Seit der Flut
there has been amalgamation
gab es Genmanipulation
of man and beast,
von Menschen und Tieren,
as may be seen in the almost endless varieties of species of animals,
was sichtbar ist in den beinahe endlosen Variationen von Tierarten
Now don't miss this. And certain races of men.
und in bestimmten Menschenrassen.
Whew.
Uiuiui.
It's a hot one. Ready? Let's go back now to Esort. Now let's see if her writing can be proved for a moment. We're going to look at some more of her writings, but I want to see
Jetzt wollen wir
something.
mal gucken, ob wir ihre Schriften
Go to
beweisen
Genesis. Go
können.
back to Genesis 7:2.
Wir schlagen nochmal 1. Mose 7, Vers 2 auf.
And of every clean beast. Now I want you to look up. Put a line under clean. Mark clean for me, and give me the definition of every clean beast.
Jedes reine Vieh.
Now you
Jedes
see the
reine
word
Vieh.
clean beast. What is that Greek word, Hebrew word here? It's called tahar.
Seht ihr hier
Tahor.
das hebräische Wort für rein? Das ist das Wort Tahor.
Tahor, and tahor means pure.
Und dieses Wort Tahor, das bedeutet rein.
But now listen carefully.
Aber hört gut zu.
Listen carefully
Hört.
of a clean beast.
Hört gut zu. Was ist hier ein reines Vieh?
So you're thinking about sacrifice and eating.
Und ihr denkt dabei an Opfer und an
God is talking about
Essen.
sacrifice, eating, and something else.
Aber Gott redet hier nicht nur über reine Tieropfer und reines Fleisch, sondern noch über etwas anderes.
Clean here is the word tahar. That means pure physically.
Dieses Wort Tahor bedeutet körperlich rein,
Chemically,
chemisch
chemical,
rein,
ceremonial,
zeremonisch
or moral sense.
oder moral rein.
Now, what word seems strange in that definition?
Also welches Wort sieht jetzt ganz merkwürdig aus in dieser Definition?
Come
Was
on, young
passt
people,
da nicht rein?
you read the story of the flood all the time. It's like a bedtime story for some of you.
Ihr habt die Geschichte der Flut so oft gelesen, das ist wie eine gute Nachtgeschichte für euch.
And Noah put all the animals in the ark.
Und Noah hat all die Tiere in die Arche geführt.
I want you to think now.
Aber ich möchte, dass ihr jetzt mal
What
nachdenkt.
word in the definition here seems a little bit strange?
Welches Wort passt hier nicht rein?
Chemical.
Chemisch.
Because most of the time, when you think of clean, you're thinking ceremonial
Denn
and morally clean
meistens, wenn ihr das Wort rein hört, dann denkt ihr an zeremonisch und Moral
and
rein.
physically clean in the form of being able to eat clean
Und
meat.
auch körperlich rein, weil ihr dann reines Fleisch essen könnt.
Most of us are not thinking chemical.
Aber die meisten von uns denken nicht an chemische Reinheit.
What does chemical deal with?
Worum dreht sich denn dieses Wort chemisch?
You find that this word chemical is from the word chemist or chemistry,
Dieses Wort chemisch kommt von dem Wort Chemie.
and it's dealing with the idea of the animal, first of all, had to be physically clean as far as the original DNA was concerned.
Und das bedeutet, dass dieses Tier körperlich rein sein muss, was die DNA betrifft.
Are you understanding what I'm saying? The original DNA.
Die ursprüngliche DNA. Versteht ihr,
Meaning
was ich sage?
that the original way that God chemically, physically made the animal was just as important as his being ceremonial clean and morally pure.
Das bedeutet, dass es genauso wichtig war, wie Gott das Tier mit einer reinen DNA geschaffen hat, als auch, dass es zeremonisch und moral rein war.
The word chemical
Dieses Wort chemisch
also refers to,
weist auch hin
it'll
auf,
take you to the word chemistry.
oder bringt uns zu diesem Wort Chemie.
It will also take you to the word the mixing of various chemicals or particles.
Oder es bringt uns auch dahin, dass man verschiedene Chemikalien miteinander mischt.
It refers to the blending together.
Es bezieht sich auf ein Vermischen.
Can anybody tell me what mercury is used for?
Mercury.
Mercury. What is mercury
Was
usually
ist-
used for?
Was ist das?
I'm not talking about for your teeth. I'm talking about chemically. What is mercury an agent for?
Quecksilber ist
I have a
das.
doctor right here. Maybe she can help us on that. Can you give us an
Was
idea?
ist- Was ist
Oh, mercury itself.
Quecksilber? Was ist-
What is mercury?
und,
How is mercury used in chemistry and when using it?
Ja, Quecksilber oder Amalgam, eins von beiden. Aber wie wird das benutzt? Carefully.
Mercury is used to, mercury in chemistry is like a pair of scissors.
Also, Ja, wenn es Quecksilber ist, es wird benutzt wie eine Schere.
It can be used to separate
Man benutzt es, um Sachen zu trennen
or bind together
oder um
different DNA, different chemical
oder
particles.
um verschiedene Chemikalien miteinander zu verbinden.
So when you look up the word chemistry,
Wenn ihr dann dieses Wort Chemie seht
and you look up the word alchemy, because that's what it'll take you to,
was ist das?
alchemy.
Alchemie. Ja, und wenn ihr dann das Wort Alchemie betrachtet,
And alchemy will take you to the mixing of metals with mercury.
und das bringt euch dahin, dass man gewisse Stoffe mit Quecksilber verbindet.
It's talking about the mixing of chemicals,
Und dann handelt es darum, dass Chemikalien miteinander vermischt
and
werden
mercury can be used as a separating factor or a binding factor.
und dass das Quecksilber benutzt wird, entweder um die Chemikalien zu trennen oder miteinander zu verbinden.
So through chemistry,
Durch die Chemie also,
through DNA experimentation,
durch DNA-Experimente,
the antediluvians
haben die vorsintflutlichen Menschen,
the people before the flood,
ja, die Menschen vor der Flut
the minds of the scientists of that time
und die Wissenschaftler jener Zeit
had came to the point where they could split the human DNA
die kamen zu dem
and
Punkt,
animal DNA.
wo sie die DNA von Mensch und Tieren aufschlüsseln konnten.
And they can
entschlüsseln
rebind the DNA with other DNA from other humans or from other animals.
Und wenn sie dann diese DNA entschlüsselt hatten, konnten sie die wieder mit anderen DNA-Teilen zusammen verbinden. Von
Today,
Menschen oder Tieren.
we call it stem cell research,
Das nennt sich heute Stammzellforschung.
which is nothing but human experimentation with DNA.
Und das ist nichts anderes als eine Experimentation von Menschen mit der DNA.
I want you to think about this.
Und darüber müsst ihr nachdenken.
Now, so far, we have a hint that the spirit of prophecy might be right.
Und soweit haben wir einen Hinweis darauf, dass der Geist der Weissagung recht haben könnte.
Because the animals had to be cleaned chemically,
Denn die Tiere mussten ja chemisch rein sein.
meaning that any animal that was not physically clean in DNA,
Das bedeutet, dass jedes Tier, das nicht körperlich oder in seiner DNA rein war,
would not be considered clean or unclean.
das würde nicht als rein oder unrein angesehen werden.
Because he or she, that animal would been a mutated species.
Denn solch ein Tier würde eine Mutation sein.
Therefore, he would have no existence in the eyes of God, though he existed on the earth.
Deshalb war es in Gottes Augen nicht akzeptiert, dass es existierte, obwohl es auf der Erde
Now, let me
existierte.
go a little bit closer.
Und
I'm
das wollen
watching.
wir jetzt noch näher betrachten.
Let's look at one more. Look at Genesis chapter. Now, I want you to notice something. Look at the word here. Of a clean beast thou shalt take by sevens, male and female, and beasts that are not clean. Look at Mark, give me a definition on not clean here.
Und dann heißt es weiter, also von den reinen Tieren
not.
7 Paare, von den unreinen Tieren ein Paar.
Now, I want you to notice this word definition for the word, little word not.
Und wir wollen jetzt diese Definition von unrein oder nicht rein
Here, it
betrachten.
simply means nay or never or neither.
Dieses nicht rein im Englischen bedeutet, das Wort nein, das bedeutet ja. Nein, nicht
So
oder
that's
nie.
pretty clear.
Das ist also ganz deutlich.
But let's go a little bit deeper.
Und jetzt wollen wir noch tiefer gehen.
Now look at 7, 8. Would you see 7, 8 with me?
Wir wollen Vers 8 lesen.
Hold it. And of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean.
Hier haben wir auch wieder die reinen Tiere und unreine Tiere.
Look, what does the word not mean here?
Was bedeutet hier dieses Wort nicht rein?
A different definition altogether.
Hier bekommen wir eine ganz andere Definition.
Listen to the definition.
Hört, welche Definition hier gegeben wird.
Not clean here means a beast that is, look, listen carefully. It says here to be nothing.
Nicht rein, das bedeutet hier einfach nichts zu
Or
sein
not exist.
oder nicht zu existieren.
A non-entity.
Keine Einheit.
It means, listen carefully, be gone. It says be gone, or it means incurable.
Verschwunden sein oder unheilbar sein.
Never, it says none, any, but I want you to notice this. It says fatherless.
Es bedeutet auch vaterlos.
The Bible is indicating
Die Bibel zeigt uns also,
there were some beasts
dass es einige Tiere gab,
that though they had an existence,
die, obwohl sie existierten,
as far as mankind was concerned,
soweit wie es die Menschheit betraf,
but as far as original creation, they had never been created by God.
aber soweit wie es die ursprüngliche Schöpfung betrifft, wurden sie nie von Gott erschaffen.
And as a result,
Und als Resultat dessen
these beasts were incurable, they were fatherless.
waren diese Tiere unheilbar und vaterlos.
They had no origin in the creation of God.
Sie hatten keinen Ursprung in der Schöpfung Gottes.
That sound familiar?
And yet they were put-
Isn't that what Ellen White says?
Ist das nicht das, was Ellen White sagt?
Let's go back to Ellen White's writing for a moment.
But wait. Here the unclean beasts are put in the ark.
Yeah, the unclean beasts that are unclean chemically from original chemical creation. You see, you got to remember something. This is what everybody missing. You're thinking clean and unclean in the sense of ceremonies and eating. You've got to think of clean and unclean in the sense of originally created to be clean, originally created to be
Also
unclean.
dieses unrein und rein, das bezieht sich nicht darauf, ob sie jetzt rein sind zum Essen oder zum Opfern, sondern auf die ursprüngliche Schöpfung. Die reinen Tiere sind die Tiere, die Gott geschaffen hat, und die unreinen Tiere sind die Tiere, die Gott nicht geschaffen hat.
That's where we get confused at.
Darin kommen wir ganz schnell durcheinander.
That's why the dinosaur
Das ist der Grund, warum die Dinosaurier
does not appear in the Bible.
nicht in der Bibel erscheinen.
Because it was not originally created by God.
Denn er wurde nicht von Gott erschaffen.
It was a result of amalgamation, men practicing genetic crossbreeding with other animals.
Das war eine Folge der Genmanipulation, dass Menschen die Gene von verschiedenen Tiersorten miteinander verschmelzen lassen.
It was a confused species.
Das war eine veränderte Tierart.
It was fatherless.
Vaterlos,
It was mutated.
eine Mutation,
It had no existence in the eyes of God.
und in den Augen Gottes nicht der Existenz wert.
Now it's hard for most of us to accept that.
Es ist schwer für die meisten von uns, das zu akzeptieren.
But go back to the next one for a moment.
Aber wir gehen zurück
No,
zum
right here.
zum
But if
nächsten.
there was one sin above another,
Es gab eine Sünde, die stand über allen anderen.
which called for the destruction of the flood,
Und die
of the race by the flood,
rief die Vernichtung der Menschheit durch die Flut hervor.
it was the base crime of amalgamation of man and beast.
Und das war die schlimme Tat der Genmanipulation von Mensch und Tier,
Which defaced the image of God
wodurch das Bild Gottes vollständig zerstört wurde
and caused confusion everywhere.
und überall Verwirrung gebracht wurde.
God proposed to destroy by a flood that powerful long-lived race.
Gott nahm sich vor, durch eine Flut diese mächtige und langlebige Menschheit zu vernichten,
That had corrupted their ways before him.
die ihre Wege vor ihm verdorben hatten.
He would not suffer them to live out the days of their natural life, which would be hundreds of years.
Er würde nicht zulassen, dass sie ihr natürliches Leben ausleben könnten bis zum Ende.
Good,
Das
next one.
würde nämlich hunderte von Jahren dauern.
Amalgamation. The noxious
Genmanipulation.
plant. Not one noxious plant,
What is noxious?
meaning a toxic plant.
Giftige Pflanzen durch
Not
Genmanipulation.
one noxious plant was placed in the Lord's great garden.
In den großen Garten des Herrn wurde keine einzige giftige Pflanze gesetzt.
Not one poisonous plant was placed in God's garden.
Keine einzige giftige Pflanze wuchs in Gottes Garten.
But after Adam sinned,
Aber nachdem Adam und Eva sündigten,
poisonous herbs sprang up.
wuchsen giftige Kräuter.
It says, in the parable of the sower, the question was asked, Master, did thou sow good seed in thy field? How then has it tares?
Im Gleichnis vom Seemann wird die Frage gestellt, hast du nicht guten Samen gesät ins Feld? Wie kommt es dann, dass Unkraut wächst?
The master answered, an enemy has done this. All the tares are sown by the evil one. Every noxious herb is of his sowing, and his ingenious methods of amalgamation. He has corrupted the earth.
Der Meister antwortete, ein Feind hat das getan. Alles Unkraut wird durch den Bösen gesät. Jedes giftige Kraut wird von ihm gesät. Durch seine Methoden der Genmanipulation hat er die Erde verdorben.
Okay, go back to go to the next one right quick. Every species which God created was preserved in the ark.
Jede Tierart, die Gott geschaffen hat, wurde in der Arche erhalten.
The confused species which God did not create were the result. It says were the result of amalgamation and were destroyed by the flood.
Die veränderten Arten, die Gott nicht geschaffen hat und die das Resultat von Genmanipulation waren, wurden durch die Flut vernichtet. I have a question.
Go back to Esau. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
If the confused species were destroyed by the flood, then why did the unclean beasts go into the ark?
You missed it. You
No.
missed the point. Yes, you did. You missed it.
What is
You
that?
don't understand. You're missing. You're putting confused species with unclean. Unclean here refers to unclean by. You see, there are certain beasts that God created that are declared unclean by
Yeah.
Him. He
Yeah.
created it.
Okay.
Any beast that was not created by Him had no existence in the beginning by Him.
Ja.
That beast was a confused species. It was not even considered unclean. It was a confused species. It was a species that had no existence in His eyes.
But you just gave the definition on not clean.
Yes,
that
but the
is
word not.
fatherless and
Yes, it's fatherless. And let me ask you a question. Are those beasts that are confused fatherless? Did God create them?
yeah, they are fatherless.
So they are fatherless.
But you say that the not clean beasts are fatherless too.
No. You're missing the point. The not clean beasts are the beasts that are clean. Listen carefully. The beasts that are clean and are not clean. Clean beasts went in by sevens. Unclean beasts went in by twos that were originally created by God, whose DNA points that they had no mutation or genetic modification in them. Now listen carefully. This is clean beasts and unclean beasts.
Yeah, I
Both
get
created
this.
by, but these are beasts that are actually originates with God's creation. These beasts could be picked from the variety of beasts, long as they were originally, their DNA was the original as God intended. You got pigs that are unclean, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are in the ark. Why?
Because God created them.
God created them. You have pigeons that are in the ark. Why?
Yeah, no, I get this point.
Okay.
The problem I have is why you put the definition of not clean, which means fatherless, as you put it, why you put this of not clean on the confused species.
Because the not clean, the word not there means fatherless. It means incurable. It does not just mean not. That's why I showed you. That's why I showed you two definitions on not. Okay.
I understand what you mean, because verse 7 and 8 speaks about the animals that went into the ark.
Yes.
And as you are referring to this word not
Uh-huh.
clean as being part of the confused species,
Right. There you go.
then did they went into the ark?
They did not go into the ark. Let me show you why. Though the text tells you It's that verse 8, of clean beasts and beasts that are not clean, comma, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth, there went in too, right? The text is telling you clean beasts and unclean beasts went in the ark. But what you don't, what most of, if you go by that alone, you cannot prove Ellen White's position. Because the text says clean and unclean went into the ark. Until you do a close word study search and understand that the word not here is taking you to think in terms that, yes, there were beasts that went in clean and unclean that were by sevens and by twos, but this word not indicates that there had to be some other beast.
But this word not refers to the unclean beast which went into the
No. You don't get it. In the text, see what I'm trying to show you first of all. In the text, yes. But in the very word itself, there's an implication that you must stop for a moment and think opposite and ask yourself a question. What, if that's the case, and I'll give you an example. Watch this. If that's the case, then why doesn't the scripture say not and just say never or none and have the same definition that's in Genesis 7:2? If that's the case. If it's exactly like you're saying, like you're assuming it from your reading, then we don't need to worry about that word not. Right? Because in Genesis 7:2, go back to Genesis 7:2 and look at not again. Listen. It says, read the line, it says the same thing, right? Yeah. Same thing, right? Now, watch this. Look at not. Tell me the definition on that word not.
Yeah.
The word not here is the word lo. And it simply means not, never, no. So if that's the case, and this is the same reading, isn't it? Then when I go to verse 8, I want you to see, go to verse 8. When I go to verse 8, then the word not ought to be the same reading. It ought to be the word lo. If it was the word lo, then you can say that the beasts that went into the ark were just only the beasts that were clean and unclean. The clean by twos and the unclean by sevens. But this word not says, okay, yes, you can read that. But understand that this definition, the word not here is the Hebrew word ayin. It's a different word. Therefore, it adds a different color to the text. It is showing you that, yes, their beasts went in clean, twos by the clean beast by sevens and the unclean beast by twos. But then it indicates that you must pause for a moment. That's why the comma is they're not clean. You must pause and think, wait a minute. What is a non-entity? What is a fatherless? What beasts were incurable? Were any clean beasts that went into the ark incurable? Were any clean beasts that went into the ark non-existent, meaning that they have an existence with God in their original creation? Yes. But the question right here, in order to, okay, and I'll just give you this much, and I'll just say this, hold on, I'll get your hand. I'm going to say this much. If you go by the traditional way you've been reading this text without taking this word in consideration and try to just assume that this word is just saying the same as the previous verse because it's the word not, and you just assume that, then Ellen White is exaggerating about the flood. Because there is no other text, no other verse in Genesis chapter 6 and 7 that can prove the point that there were beasts that God did not make, that did not enter that ark. That's how important this one little word is when read properly. That's how important it is. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Wait. Maybe we can just put
Yeah. Okay. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, if I would summarize what I understand, in this context, we can read the unclean beasts and the clean beasts
which God created went into the ark. Yes.
But if we look to the word,
if we look at the word carefully examine, we must take
Is a species or something?
there you go. There you go.
Which was not created.
Absolutely.
It didn't went into the ark.
That's exactly right. That did not go into the ark. You have to, because this word, the definition of the word demands it. Yes.
So in this sentence we read that were
In the sentence, you read it two ways. You read it the regular way, but when you do word study and you find a beast that is not clean, and the word not means a beast that is fatherless, you cannot take the word not clean by itself and examine it.
not in the sentence.
Not in the sentence after you have understood that, because that's the only way you're going to prove her writings. Let me ask you a question. Now, let's give an example. Have you found any other text in Genesis chapter 6 or 7 or 8 that could prove that there were beasts or a confused species?
Maurice, wait, we need to put it together.
No,
for
I know,
the
I know,
German
I know.
words.
I know.
Speak somewhere about
Okay.
giants of the earth.
Giants on the earth, but what about animals? No. And this is, and the reason why this is so important is because we've had Adventists who have left the church because they said Ellen White exaggerated on the story of Noah and these species. This is why this study, this is not, listen carefully, this is not just a contextual reading. Most of us only read. We do not do word study and word search. To do word study and word search examination means sometimes you must understand the text as it is written, and then you must take the text apart and ask the questions, why, Lord, is there an opposite to this word? Is it an opposite to its meaning? Because if the text was regular, if it's going to be just like you've always assumed it to be, then this definition should not be here.
But the problem is, for example, in German, we have always the same word. We do not
Okay. So the German has to get what type of manuscript? Remember what Diva's been teaching about manuscripts? The Germans need a new manuscript that put all the words in their proper place. That's why this is important. It might need the same thing in the Dutch too.
This
But-
one is saying this one is fine.
This one okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to give you an idea, but you won't find this reading on the surface. You will only find this when you do a thorough examination of each of the verses and you get down to it, because believe me, I didn't find it the first time I searched it. I found it after several searches of going through each word in each verse in each text until I came to something and said, Lord, because I wanted to know, Lord, how can I prove the issue? I'm sorry.
Now I finally need to translate.
Okay. I'm talking to you guys like y'all eat, like everybody here speak English. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Let me
Okay, here we go.
put it
Okay,
together.
put it together. Okay.
Also es geht darum, es wird zweimal erwähnt, dass es nicht reine Tiere auch in die Arche gegangen sind. Aber das Wort im Griechischen für nicht rein, das sind zwei verschiedene Worte. Und das Wort nicht bedeutet einmal einfach nicht rein, so wie Gott die Tiere geschaffen hat, als reine und als nicht reine Tiere. Und das zweite Wort nicht rein, das deutet an, dass es Tiere gab, die eben vaterlos waren oder die unheilbar waren, die Gott also nicht geschaffen hat, sondern die durch Genmanipulation entstanden sind. Und solche Tiere sind nicht in die Arche gegangen. Und man muss also, wenn man dieses Thema studiert, wirklich bis in die Tiefe studieren und jedes einzelne Wort im Griechischen oder im Hebräischen nachgucken, damit man auch die genaue Bedeutung weiß, die Gott uns da geben will.
If you find, and I'll just like this, if you find through your research anything different on that chapter than what I've just showed you, then please let me know.
Wenn ihr bei eurem Studium irgendetwas anderes findet in diesem Kapitel über dieses Thema, dann bitte lasst es mich wissen.
Because outside of that, we are forced to accept Ellen White's position without any biblical backup.
Denn ohne diese Dinge sind wir gezwungen, um die Dinge, die White schreibt, zu glauben, ohne dass wir biblische Unterstützung haben dafür.
And it is not God's will
Und es ist nicht Gottes Wille,
that we cannot prove the writings of the prophet.
dass wir die Schriften der Propheten nicht auch beweisen können.
So when you get time, you can go back over it.
Wenn ihr Zeit habt, dann studiert das nochmal.
Now that we got that out the way,
Und jetzt, wo wir das aus dem Weg geschafft
and that
haben,
says a hot potato, so now,
Speis von der
now I
Stirn,
want to take you to some areas where it's going on. Yes.
Here's another hot potato.
Okay.
noch eine heiße Kartoffel.
Are going on today.
Yes, and
Diese
we're going to go there.
Genmanipulationen, die finden heute statt.
When fire hits the earth this time.
Because the next thing that we're going to now is, if this is true,
Wenn das also wahr ist,
and this was the sin that caused God to destroy the earth
und
by a
wenn
flood,
das die Sünde war, die Gott dazu brachte, die Welt durch eine Flut zu
then
vernichten,
that means amalgamation is going on today.
dann bedeutet es, dass Genmanipulation heute stattfindet.
And if that's the case,
Und wenn das der Fall ist,
then we are ready for destruction.
dann ist unsere Welt bereit für die Vernichtung.
Now, before we do that, now I want you to type in amalgamation again too. Oh, by the way,
Einige von euch haben das vielleicht schon gesehen.
these are mice.
Das sind Mäuse.
These are mice
Das sind Mäuse.
who have been, and by the way, this is in German, right, or Dutch?
German.
It's in German. So
Und
this
das steht
has
in
been
Deutsch
discovered
drauf.
in Europe.
Also es wurde in Deutschland auch entdeckt.
These are mice who have been injected with human DNA.
Das sind Mäuse, denen menschliche DNA eingeschleust wurde.
And they're not crawling.
Und die krabbeln nicht mehr.
They're not even stooping like this.
Und die sitzen auch nicht so da.
They're walking.
Die laufen.
Take a look. They're not leaning on no glass. It's not a glass.
Schaut es euch an. Das ist kein Glas, wo sie sich
Look at their
gegenlehnen.
feet.
Schaut euch ihre Füße an.
Look at their paws.
Ihre Pfoten.
Notice that the feet and the hands are spread out like this.
Die Füße und die Hände sind so ausgestreckt.
This is with human DNA, ladies and gentlemen.
Da ist menschliche DNA mit drin.
Now, how would you like to be in your house
Wie würdet ihr es finden, wenn ihr bei euch zu Hause
and you set a mouse trap
eine Mausefalle aufstellt
and you put peanut butter on it
und
and
ihr
some
da
cheese,
Erdnussbutter und Käse drauf schmiert?
and all of a sudden the mouse you see the long tail,
Und dann seht ihr plötzlich den langen
And you're
Schwanz der
looking.
Maus und ihr guckt
and all of a sudden you're standing in shock. You like,
und dann guckst du da ganz schön
because the mouse is doing like this
weil die so in die Falle marschiert.
and untying the trap.
Und dann die Falle
Pop it for you
entlöst,
and take the cheese off the trap. And
sodass die Falle zuklappt und dann holt es sich den Käse
And
aus
walk
der
away.
Falle und
How do you
läuft
like
wieder
that?
weg.
How would you like that? That
würde
would
euch
be
das
that
gefallen?
would blow you away. I don't know about you. I just want you to see. Let's go back. Now let's look at another one.
Wir wollen uns noch was
Let's go back
angucken.
to the mouse. Let's go back to the mice again. Go to another one. No, you gotta go back to that same series. Okay? Go right here to the glow in the dark ones. Right here. Letter 6. Right there. How'd you like to have one like that?
Wie würde euch so eine Maus gefallen?
How'd you like to have mice that glow in the dark?
Das ist eine Maus, die im Dunkeln leuchtet.
So all over Holland,
Ganz in Holland,
you can walk the streets at night
dann kann man durch die Straßen nachts laufen
and you'll know where the mice are.
und ihr wisst genau, wo die Mäuse sich
Because all of a sudden you
befinden.
see these little green things running around the garbage cans.
Dann plötzlich seht ihr diese kleinen grünen Dinger, die um die Mülltonnen flitzen.
This mouse has a DNA of a certain type of fish
Diese Maus hat die DNA von einer bestimmten Fischart in
that
sich,
causes him to glow.
die die Maus leuchten lässt oder die eigentlich den Fisch leuchten lässt, aber dadurch auch die Maus.
So how would you like to have one of them around?
Wie würde euch so eine Maus
Wouldn't
gefallen?
that be nice? To
Wäre
have
das
glow in the
nicht
dark
schön?
mice in your house?
Um zu Hause ein paar im Dunkeln leuchtende Mäuse zu haben?
Before you see it though, it was at least scare you probably half to death because you're thinking, what's that green stuff over there?
Wenn ihr es aber nicht zuerst mal gesehen
And can
hättet
you imagine you got the broom
und ihr geht da in die Ecke, weil ihr euch wundert, was leuchtet da so in der Ecke.
Another question.
Yeah.
It is the ghost of the mice which you had in
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's right. So I want you to think about that. All right, next one.
Denkt darüber nach. Also, das
Talk about amalgamation. Let's go here to letter 10. Here you have tomatoes
Hier haben wir Tomaten,
that are being injected with animal DNA, such as pig DNA, to preserve the tomatoes' life expectancy.
diese Tomaten, die werden injektiert mit tierischen DNA, so wie zum Beispiel von Schweinen, damit sie länger haltbar werden.
And do you know, you need to be careful about your tomatoes, because actually there are tomatoes that are on the market that stay red a long time.
Und ihr müsst vorsichtig sein, was für Tomaten ihr euch kauft, denn es gibt tatsächlich Tomaten auf dem Markt, die ganz lange rot und knackig bleiben.
Because their DNA the tomatoes' makeup has been injected with pig enzyme DNA.
Denn diese Tomaten, die wurden mit Schweinenzym injektiert.
So you can eat pork and not know it.
Also so könnt ihr sogar Schweinefleisch essen, ohne es zu wissen.
So you
Über die
be
Tomate.
veggie porks.
Dann seid ihr vegetarische Schweinefleischesser.
So you gotta be careful what you eat. Okay, let's go to the letter 5. Just a minute. How about that one?
Wie
A
gefällt
glow
euch
in the
das
dark
denn?
pig.
Ein
He's
Schwein,
not
das im
pink,
Dunkeln
he's
leuchtet.
not white, he's not blue, he's green.
Kein rosa Schweinchen, kein weißes Schweinchen, kein blaues Schweinchen, sondern ein grünes Schweinchen.
And he's your little pig.
Dein süßes kleines Schweinchen.
You will never lose your pig in the dark.
Du wirst dein Schweinchen im Dunkeln nie verlieren.
Wow, look at that. Isn't that so cute?
Ist das
Green
nicht süß?
pigs.
Grüne Schweinchen.
Okay. Next one. I'll show you one that's a genetic experiment, number 649, up in the top left-hand corner. Right there. This is a genetic experiment.
Das ist ein genetisches Experiment.
This is called the alligator man.
Das nennt sich der Alligatormann.
It is not something just out of a tabloid.
Und das ist nicht irgendwo,
This was a genetic experiment
das ist nicht irgendwie erfunden oder aus
to
irgendeinem Film
see
entnommen, sondern es ist ein
what
genetisches
they could actually
Experiment,
create that would be unethical.
um zu sehen, was sie eigentlich damit machen können.
They didn't let it live, they killed it.
Sie haben es nicht leben lassen, sie haben es getötet.
But they were able to successfully fuse the human DNA with the animal DNA.
Aber sie konnten erfolgreich menschliche DNA mit tierischer DNA verbinden.
So I want you to know that there's unethical research going on with stem cell research, which is the foundation program that's being given to the public.
Also mit dieser Stammzellenforschung, da werden wirklich unethische Experimente durchgeführt.
For the acceptance of human-animal experimentation.
Und hey,
Okay.
wait.
What?
They give them to the public?
No, they introduce stem cell research as the decoy or the cover-up for the public to accept human and animal research.
Sie
DNA.
benutzen diese Stammzellenforschung als eine Art Türöffner,
Right.
damit die Öffentlichkeit das Vermischen von menschlicher mit tierischer DNA akzeptiert.
Okay, I want you to go here now for a moment. I want you to go here to man dog. All right, I want you to look at this for a moment. Yes, sir. Some of it. Sometimes they can do manipulation with Photoshops. But
Man kann auch mit Photoshop
yes.
manche Manipulationen machen.
no, we're not going to show all of them. There are more, but I'm not going to show you all of them. I just want to give you an idea.
Also ich werde nicht all diese Bilder zeigen, aber
That
ich möchte euch eine Vorstellung
There are strange
geben,
things going on.
dass es wirklich merkwürdige Dinge sind, die da vor sich gehen.
But this is still surface compared to the stuff they got. Just recently in the newspaper, they had a new creature that they said is 99% human, but also animal, and he's called a chimera.
Und letztens stand noch in der Zeitung ein Artikel über ein Wesen, das sie gemacht
Okay.
haben, das 99% menschlich
Cut
ist,
out. Go
aber
off that.
auch tierisch, und das nennt sich Chimera.
All right, let's go back here. Go here to. Go right here.
Chimera. hat
No. Go right here to, no, mutilate. Go to mutilate. Now I'm going to talk about human beings
Und ich spreche hier über menschliche Wesen,
who do not practice amalgamation.
die keine Genmanipulation.
Go to number 1 there. This is the new decoration for young people.
Das ist der neue Schmuck für junge Menschen.
I mean, this is supposed to be cool, man.
Das sollte cool sein.
You get you a Coca-Cola can, you get your ear stretched out like this, you know, and you get a pierced in here, and then you put that big Coca-Cola can bottle right in here and stretch your ear as far as you can get it. And man, you cool. You one of the homeboys, you down on it, right?
Also das soll absolut cool sein, dass man so seine Coca-Cola-Dose mit
What's
sich
wrong? I mean,
rumschleppt.
check out his eyes. Check out the nose. Check out the lip.
Stellt euch mal vor, er macht das mit seinem Auge oder mit seiner Nase oder seiner Lippe.
This is the new style for young people.
Das ist der neue Stil für junge
This is
Menschen.
all across Europe.
Das ist überall in Europa zu finden.
Let's go a little bit closer. Another one. Look, what y'all about? That brother thinks he look good.
Er sieht doch ganz gut aus, oder?
He said, can you imagine what his girlfriend thinks about him?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. All right, let's go to another one. How about that one?
Wie sieht der denn aus?
You can go with either one. Which one you want, ladies? He's a little cuter, right? So he looks a little bit like email, right here. So you can.
Ihr könnt euch
How
mal
about this one?
aussuchen.
Now this is one. Now I want you to notice they are getting young people are getting operations where they're putting what they call little metal plates in their head to cause the head to protrude underneath the skin between the forehead.
Also diese Menschen, die lassen sich operieren
Check this one
und
out.
lassen sich Metalldinger da reinmachen,
now-
sodass es so aussieht.
Now this is what I call really hanging out.
Und das nenne ich wirklich aushängen.
And they all being hung out with hooks.
Die lassen sich alle
Now-
mit Haken aufhängen.
Now I want you to stop I want to stop here for just a moment.
Und ich
Yes,
möchte
ma'am.
hier einen Augenblick.
Yes, that's what I'm getting ready to go there. I'm getting ready to go there right now. I want you to know this is spiritualism.
Ich möchte euch sagen, das ist Spiritismus.
Because if I took you
Denn wenn ich dich
and
nehme
put you on a hook,
und dich so an einem Haken aufhänge,
there is no way you would be being carried around on this thing and your skin and your blood not busting open bleeding.
und es gibt keine Möglichkeit, wie du so an einem Haken hängen kannst, ohne dass deine Haut aufreißt und dir das Blut runterläuft.
These are to show that these young people are not only taking in pain, but these young people are spiritualists.
Das zeigt nicht nur, dass diese jungen Menschen Schmerz vertragen können, sondern dass sie spiritistisch sind.
Okay, Mel, how about that one?
Wie sieht der denn aus?
Isn't he cute? Wait a minute, now, you like that, don't y'all?
Das sieht doch ganz gut aus.
Hold on, Eva, hold on. Okay? All right, here go one. And they got in their car, that's sexy. This is the type of stuff going on. Keep going. Here you go. These are young people. Look at this. Now remember, now you know she really went too far.
Sie ist wirklich ein
Okay.
bisschen zu weit gegangen.
So I just want to give you an idea.
Ich möchte euch davon nur eine Vorstellung geben.
All right, go to Beyonce's minute. Now I got to close out with Beyonce's minute. The music point for a moment. Not there yet. Not yet. I want to go to Beyonce's minute. Wait a minute, brother. So, no. Go right here. No. What happened to it? What's right here? What's right here? Yeah, this one here. Go there. I want to talk about Beyonce for a moment.
Ich möchte über Beyoncé
Listen
sprechen.
very carefully. I want to show you what some people don't realize about this particular rapper, this female rapper.
Ich möchte euch etwas sagen über...
has come out about her schizophrenia. The pop princess says she has an alter ego on stage named Sasha. She says Sasha is not someone you want to mess with. When talking about her, Beyonce says Sasha is too sassy, too aggressive, and too sexy. So, which one does Jay-Z take home at night? What do you think? Email into HollywoodMinute@ManiaTV.com and let us know. I'm Megan, and remember to check out our live channel for the best in internet television, and of course more of yours truly.
Okay. Email. Stop it. Beyonce, who is a rapper,
Beyoncé, ein Rapper,
and who's also, I think she's married now to Jay-Z,
und die ist jetzt, glaube ich, verheiratet
says
mit
that when she
Jay-Z.
goes on stage,
Und die sagt, wenn sie auf die Bühne geht,
that she changes.
dass sie sich dann verändert.
And she calls this change her alter ego.
Und sie nennt diese Veränderung,
The name
Ihr
of this
zweites Ich.
change or this demon that takes possession of her
und der Name von dieser Veränderung oder von diesem Dämon, der der Besitz von ihr ergreift,
is Sasha.
das ist Sascha.
In other words, Beyonce is subtly telling you, when I go on stage, I'm demon possessed.
Was Beyoncé euch also eigentlich sagt, ist, wenn sie auf die Bühne geht, dann ist sie dämonisch besessen.
And there have been a lot of girls who wrote in saying that they find themselves somehow strangely attracted to Beyonce in a very sexual manner.
Und es gibt Girls?
Girls,
Und es
not
gibt-
guys, girls.
Und es gibt etliche Mädchen, die sagen, dass sie sich merkwürdig angezogen fühlen von Beyoncé
And they cannot
auf sexuellem Gebiet.
explain why.
Und sie können nicht erklären, warum.
Okay, now go back, email back to the main board. You can close that one. All right. The last thing I wanted to show you was gym pads. What is this?
Was ist das?
This is a new biological toy
Das ist ein neues biologisches Spielzeug,
that is subtly coming out in Australia.
das jetzt plötzlich in Australien herauskommt.
They're called gin pets.
Das nennt sich,
They
Gen-
they are in
Kuscheltiere.
packages with lighted up things, but they actually come alive and they defecate. They must be fed just like you would a regular pet.
Also das ist wie ein Haustier und die Dinger, die leben wirklich und die müssen auch gefüttert werden wie ein
And I want you
echtes
to notice
Haustier.
it's no sex to it.
Und es hat kein Geschlecht,
It's half human
es ist halb menschlich
and whatever else.
und was auch immer noch sonst.
And it's supposed to be something that the children and young people in certain parts of Australia would really like to have.
Und es ist etwas, das die Kinder, die kleinen Kinder in Australien sehr gerne hätten als Spielzeug.
Now, some research that we have done on this says that gym pets are fictional and they're not real.
Und es gibt einige Untersuchungen darüber, dass dieses Spielzeug nur nachgemacht ist und nicht wirklich lebt.
And other research suggests that they are working with a biological toy that is called a gym pet that will be able to be a pet in the house that's alive, that actually defecates, that actually has to be fed, and be a friend to the children.
Andere Untersuchungen aber sagen, dass es wirklich ein biologisches Wesen ist, das also gefüttert werden muss, das auch Stuhlgang hat und wo man wirklich für sorgen muss, wie für ein richtiges Haustier.
Now, our time for this meeting is up, so
Und
if
wir haben leider nicht mehr Zeit, dieses Treffen
we
ist
will
vorbei.
pick up again, perhaps maybe on tomorrow, on some other things,
Aber morgen werden wir uns mit noch ein paar mehr
on
Dingen
young people's
beschäftigen.
meeting.
Beim Jugendtreffen.
We're going to look at music on tomorrow, and we're going to examine rock music, Christian music, and soul music.
Und morgen werden wir uns mehr mit Musik beschäftigen, mit Rock und Soul und sonst noch was.
And so we're going to examine that, but we can't examine that now because our time is up.
Und das werden wir dann morgen behandeln. Jetzt
So
geht's
we
nicht mehr,
will-
weil die
so-
Zeit ist zu Ende.
Tomorrow, we can look for it. What time? Around the same time, I believe.
Morgen um dieselbe Zeit,
We'll look at more.
da werden wir noch mehr sehen.
So you got to go back and do some studying.
Ihr müsst zurückgehen und studieren.
If you find something that I didn't know or something, I'm welcome to the information. So if you find some good stuff, let me know, okay?
Und wenn ihr etwas herausfindet, was ich noch nicht wusste, dann bitte sagt es mir. Ich bin da ganz interessiert dran.
I'm just showing you the things that I have found, we have found through research.
Ich zeige euch nur die Dinge, die ich selber durch Studium gefunden habe.
If you find more about that subject,
Wenn ihr mehr über dieses Thema findet,
good, either for it or against it, please let me know.
ob es dafür oder dagegen ist, lasst es mich bitte wissen.
I'll welcome your information
Ich werde eure Informationen sehr wertschätzen.
because I'm only one person.
Denn ich bin nur eine Person.
I don't know everything,
Und ich weiß nicht alles.
but God knows all things.
Aber Gott weiß alles.
Let's bow our heads for prayer.
Wir wollen unser Haupt zum Gebet beugen.